Hey everyone, are you ready to be fired up? Because I sure am. Today I've got Samantha Skelly. This is going to be a different type of a podcast, which I'm super, super excited about because what she's going to be talking about is breath work and how to really take care of your heart, mind, and soul all at the same time. Samantha is the author of a best-selling book. She's a coach and entrepreneur. She has two multi-million-dollar businesses. She is an absolute powerhouse. So I am excited. And right now, with everything we have going on in the world, this podcast is going to be perfect. Samantha, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited for this conversation.
Yeah, and if you don't know who Samantha is, she's a young woman, and I love the fact that you have multiple million-dollar businesses. You helped over 250,000 people, teaching them breath work. You also train coaches and consultants to do breath work. So tell me a little bit about your story and your background.
Yeah, so I grew up as a dancer and a child actor. So I was in entertainment at a very, very young age. Um, I always struggled with body image and not enoughness and worthiness and all the things that are so typical in today's society. And I remember being super young and just feeling like not good in my body, not good with myself. And that then manifested when I was older to disordered eating, like extreme body image issues, exercise addiction. I became a fitness competitor to try and mask my eating disorder. And I just was in this like spiral of just not enoughness. And the interesting thing was, I was in personal development from a very young age. My dad took me to my first Tony Robbins UPW when I was like 7 years old. I grew up in the Tony world. Like, so logically, I like knew what I was doing wasn't serving me, but there was something deep inside of me that was constantly overriding what I knew. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's more to this than just mindset work. There's more to that. Like, if I want to make a sustainable long-term transformation, I can't just change my mind. I need to change my body. I need to change like the physiology of my body, the trauma in my body. And so I was about 18 years old, and no, I was probably like 20 years old or something. And I was reading the book Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. And she talks about going to Bali, finding this medicine man, and her life shifted in quite miraculous ways for those of you guys who have seen that story or watched the movie. And so I
So it's called
remember
Eat, Pray, Love by who?
Elizabeth Gilbert.
Okay, I'm gonna write
And
that
then
down.
there's a movie as well. I think it was Julia Cameron who like played her in the movie, but
Yes,
it's like a whole thing.
yes.
And so I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I'm going to go to Bali. I'm going to book a one-way ticket. I just feel like there's something that I need that I'm not getting. And I was doing therapy. I was doing mindset coaching. I was like doing Tony Robbins coaching, all that kind of stuff. And like nothing, I still felt like deep within my body and my soul, like something needed to shift, something needed to change. I knew that I wasn't the happiest, most fulfilled version of myself. I would kind of like the two places that I would feel were either really anxious or really numb. Like those were like the two things. So, anyways, I flew to Bali. I found this medicine man. He did a session on me and he was basically like, you need to go meditate. Like, you think too much, you are overthinking, you're overanalyzing, like, you're stressed out. And at the time, I absolutely hated meditation because I hated being in my body. I hated feeling my emotions. Like, it just was not, it was not comfortable for me. So, I ended up going to a meditation school. There was no meditation class on at the time, but there was a breathwork class. And I look at the board and I'm like, breathwork. And it was 3 hours. I'm like, what the hell are we going to do for 3 hours? Just sit there and breathe. I'm like, that sounds so boring. I'm like, I've got anxiety, I've got ADHD, I've got all the things. But there was something deep inside of me that was like, just go to that class. Like, you're going to see value. You're going to get value. Just go to the class. So I signed up for the class. I walk up, I walk in the door, and there's this guy dressed all in white, and he looks like Jesus. And he comes up to me and he goes, are you ready to experience every possible human emotion? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you were going to feel the highest states of joy and bliss and ecstasy, and you were going to shed away and release anything that you're holding on to that doesn't serve you. And I'm like, you're crazy. I'm like, the only things that I can really feel is like numbness and anxiety. But anyway, I lied down, I started doing the breath technique, and within a few minutes, I started to feel exactly what he said, this aliveness, this energy, this power, this just embodiment in a way I hadn't felt before. And I woke up from that experience and I was like, wait, how does the whole world not know that this is possible? Like, how do we not know that we have the ability to feel this amazing? And so that was 14 years ago today.
Wow.
I just trained as a breathwork student for like 8 years because I was so obsessed with it. And then I got a really clear message 2017, 2018. You need to teach the world to breathe. Like this mission needs to be out in the world. And so I just listened, and here we are today. Yeah, we've helped over $250,000 or 250,000 people with our the pause technique. We've trained thousands of people in 27 different countries in how to become breathwork facilitators. We do live events and live shows. It's just been like such a beautiful journey. So we're just getting started.
I love it. So that is actually amazing. So first of all, what I want to early on, where can people learn more about you?
Yeah.
So for those that are just like, oh, I already know, I want to, so
Yeah.
I don't want to lose people. Where can they learn more
Yeah,
about you?
for people who are wanting to be a breathwork facilitator or learn more, just go to pausebreathwork.com and all of the information is there. If you want to connect with me personally, just come to Instagram, which is just my first and last name, Samantha Skelly. Yeah, thanks.
Samantha Skelly. And then they've got, do you have some downloadable things they can use or
All
to
the
teach
things.
them the method, all the things?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
On your socials. Okay. You guys, Samantha Skelly, just like it sounds. All right. Go there and get her stuff. And that is an incredible journey. I think a lot of people actually do suffer with, myself included, anxiety, body
Mm.
dysmorphia issues,
Mhm.
sometimes feeling like not enough. I can relate to that. I haven't actually lived at home since I was 13.
Wow.
Yeah, since I was 13. And so I get it. And it's something I know I actually personally need more help with. So
Mhm.
I'm going to actually be looking you up as well when this is
Perfect.
over
Let's
with.
do
I
it.
really
Let's
am.
do it.
So let's talk a little bit about, for you to in 2017, 2018 to have this mission, and now just 5-6 years later to have reached over
Mm.
250,000 people. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, what was the journey? Because that's
Mm.
incredible. I hope you really understand just how incredible that
Mm.
is.
Thank you. Yeah, I really believe that when we align our soul's mission with our work, like shit happens, Like I've built many businesses before. Nothing has grown as quickly, as effectively, as smooth as Pause Breathwork because it truly is what I know I'm here to do. And I think I don't take that for granted, Like I was going for a walk the other night with my fiance and I was thinking to myself, like, what if I didn't love and I was having this thought because I was having a particularly hard day. Building a mission and building a massive company, having employees all over the world, clients all over the world. Like there's times where like it fucking sucks. Like if I'm just gonna be like it's like really hard, right? And like it doesn't suck in a way of like, oh, this is so terrible. It's like, wow, I need to grow into like being the type of leader that can hold this whole thing and continually grow it because if I don't grow, it will fail. But I was having this hard day and I said to my fiance, like, I don't get how people do businesses that is not aligned with their soul, not aligned with their heart, because the hard days would be so much harder, you
Yeah,
know? And
very
so
true.
I just really appreciate that. And I think that is how we reach millions of people and really allow ourselves to expand into big versions of ourselves is actually doing something that we care about. And we're not taught that in school. We're not taught in school like, follow your heart, follow your inspiration, follow your creativity. Like, what about innovation? We're taught like do the linear thing that makes sense, get the job, get the 401k, get the thing. I'm so grateful that I had parents who were very entrepreneurial. And we would sit down and we would eat dinner every single night at 6 p.m. We did not miss it. And I learned more at those dinner tables than I ever did in school because my dad would say like, you know just do what you want to do. Don't go to school because you think it's what you need to do. Like, go find out what you want to do. We live in this abundant universe. Like, the earth is our playground. We could do anything, we could create anything. As long as you're adding value, you never have to worry about money. And so I just like really listened to that and
Yeah.
followed that, and I'm grateful that I did. And my contribution back is giving people that same permission that they can do what they want and they can create a life that lights them up from the inside out.
But it is more than that, though. Oh, my dog here. It is more than that. It's definitely that 1000%. Okay, I 100% agree with you. But for those that are like, okay, so I'm doing what I love,
Yeah.
how in that, like, what was the steps to getting to 250,000 people? Because that is amazing.
Okay, what are the steps? So, first of all, I was like, what would bring the highest value? So then I created a breathwork facilitator program. I'm like, if I can teach people everything, because at that point in my life, I studied with some of the greatest breathworkers in the world. And some of them are alive still, some of them are not. And I just studied this art and I studied this I just became as masterful as I could possibly get. So then, and I was adding a lot of value. You know, I was doing a lot of workshops. I was getting asked to speak at different conferences. Right before Kobe Bryant died, I opened for an event that he did, and I taught breathwork to an entire room of 4,000 real estate agents. Like, I just got myself in places where I knew people would benefit from this work. And that was my kind of go to market strategy, is like getting on as many stages as possible and then developing out a facilitator program with all of my years, nearly a decade at that time, of experience and mastery. And so now we have thousands of people who teach pause breath work, which is amazing. It's like it's like the ultimate ripple effect. But yeah, for me, it's like just educating the market, inspiring people, creating amazing content, building beautiful relationships, building co-partnering relationships and it's really about knowing what you're good at. I know I'm good at speaking. That's what I love, right? So I love doing my podcast. I love speaking on stages. I love like spreading the mission through speaking. So it's really about like finding the thing that you love, finding the market for it, finding out how you're going to deliver it, and then doing the thing that you personally love in order to share it. And I think sometimes we get a little bit lost in the marketing of it, because it's like, I don't like marketing. I don't like it's like, okay, well, don't do it that way. If you don't like Instagram and you don't like showing up every day on Instagram, there's 95 other thousand ways you could market your services and actually make money. So it's just truly about finding your pathway there.
So good. So good. So good. So, do you want to do, I mean, how long does the pause take? And tell us a little bit about it. Like, explain what it is.
Why don't we just do it? Do you want to
Okay,
do
we can
it
do
a
it.
little? Yeah, it's let's do like a little 3-minute thing.
Perfect. I actually recently heard that when you're starting to do breath work, just you start with small amounts so that you don't freak yourself out.
Exactly. So the breath pattern, and for those of you who are listening and you're driving or you're in water, don't do this. Like, pause it, come back. But yeah, for those of you who are like seated or whatever, grab a seat. The breath pattern that we're going to do is called the triactive breath. So it's a 3-part breath, and we just use the mouth. So it's 2 breaths in through the mouth, 1 breath out. So it sounds like this. Yeah. That's it. So we're filling the belly up first, then the chest, and then out through the mouth.
Okay.
Okay. So when you're ready, closing your eyes, dropping your shoulders, allowing your mind to drop into your heart for a moment, relaxing your body, feeling the surface underneath you. And now when you're ready, let's start the breath pattern together. Here we go. Keeping the breath moving just like that. In through the mouth, out through the mouth, circulating the breath with each inhale. You are inhaling more of your true self. You're inhaling peace. You're inhaling love. You're inhaling connection. And on that exhale, you're exhaling everything that does not fit, everything that's not aligned. That's it. Letting the breath do the work, breath by breath, moment by moment.
If you found this valuable, do me a favor and sign up for my 3-day Unstoppable Agent virtual course. We talk about everything digital, as well as how you can stand as the go-to authority in real estate.
Another 30 seconds of the breath. Here we go. Now taking a deep breath in through the nose. Hold the breath at the top. Squeezing, holding. When you're ready, releasing the breath. Placing both hands on your heart. Feeling the energy, the power of your heart, the vibration. When you're ready, opening up your eyes, coming back to the space, and just noticing in just a few minutes what has changed. I always feel just so much lighter, so much more in my body, so much clearer. It's the perfect thing to do right before a meeting or right before you wake up or when you go to bed. Just like if you need that reset, if you need that like quick little pick me up, that type of breath work, just like shorter, is great to do throughout your day. But then a couple times a week, doing like a longer, like lying down 20 minutes, half an hour, and just really releasing the body. It's like a shower for your emotions. It just clears you out, like really allows you to like release the things that you're holding on to. It's so powerful.
I love it. I felt a little, I know it's because I don't do it enough, but I felt like I could feel myself feeling a little bit lack of oxygen, kind of almost like, you know what I mean? From it. And I felt it all over.
Dizzy. Little
Yeah,
dizzy.
I felt a little dizzy.
Yeah, that's normal in the first like 3 to 5 minutes. When you go past that threshold, then that dizziness goes away. It's just you're adding actually more oxygen into your body, and so the pH levels are shifting, and so your perception is shifting a little bit.
I just recently did a training with a doctor at a mastermind event called Genius Network, and he said,
"Oh, I know Genius Network."
Yeah, the Genius
Joe.
Network. And he said to breathe through your nose more. Like most people don't breathe through their nose enough, and it's like he even has this thing where you put something on your, I think it's on your lips or something, where you cover your mouth so you breathe more through your nose.
Was that Sachin Patel? Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was yes.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's a good friend of mine. So that's when that is the type of breath work that you're doing like 98% of the time.
Okay.
When you're not doing this type of breath work for transformation, you breathe through your nose, especially at night. For those people who are mouth breathers, for those people who are mouth breathers at night, tape your mouth, breathe through your nose. It is like, you can research this, but there are so many health benefits of shifting from mouth breathing to nose breathing. It is crazy. Like even when we breathe through our mouth, it creates so much inflammation in our body, chronically. Now, for that 2% of your day, using your mouth, the reason why we use our mouth is because it increases the amount of energy and oxygen we can bring into our lungs. So it allows us to get into those deeper states. But for 98% of your day, definitely breathe through your nose.
Okay. So the benefits of, tell us the benefits of this breath type of work of doing it. You said it like it's like a makeover for your body and your emotions.
Yeah, I love that. It is a makeover for your emotions.
Yeah,
I like that. I don't
you could steal it.
I'll be like, Krista said.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is for emotional healing and spiritual healing. So if you are feeling anxiety, if you can't sleep, if your brain is spinning, if you feel out of control, if you are feeling overwhelmed, if you are feeling stressed, and who is not these days, right? It's like breath work is so beneficial for so many different types of people. So if you are feeling activated, if you feel like you can't handle life, you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, you're stressed out, you're emotional eating, you're watching too much TV, you're overworking, you're tapping into your survival strategies and you're doing things just out of survival, get back to the breath and come back into connection and come back into your truth, because that's what's going to set you free.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so tell us more about your certification program, like the cost, how long is it? Who did it? Who, what, anybody can do it, like all the good stuff.
Yeah, there's two types of people that do the program. Number one, people who are already a coach and they want to take their clients deeper and have better transformations for their clients. So obviously they make more money, make more impact, yada, 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 right? Mindset coaching is only 20% of transformation. We got to get into the body and truly shift what's going on in the body, releasing our trauma, coming back into our hearts, tapping into our intuitions. And so breathwork is the fastest growing healing modality on the planet right now because it is so effective and so powerful. So someone who's already a coach. The second type of people that come into our program is aspiring coaches, aspiring people, people who know that you want to help people, you just haven't found the right vehicle to do it. So maybe you're working in corporate America, maybe you have a 9-to-5 job, it's sucking your soul, you don't love it, and you want to start making money doing something that actually lights you up, something that you really, really love. That's the second type of person who does our program, is someone who is an aspiring coach. So it's a 6-month journey. It'll turn you into a trauma-informed, masterful facilitator. It is a powerful, not only self-healing journey, because you kind of go through it as you're learning it, but it'll allow you to be certified with a skill set to start making money teaching breathwork right away. So it's $7,000 for the 6-month journey.
That's awesome. That's great. And then do you teach people as a part of that, like how to get their message out there and how to market themselves and all that as well?
So I have a mastermind called the Life Mastermind, and that's what people go into after that is
After.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the certification is just the work, is just like really learning,
doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so awesome. This has been, Samantha, this has been so great. I'm actually going to see if you want to actually do a training session with my students. I know it'll help them. I've got usually have around 400 students on the call. Since you said you love speaking and helping, and I'm sure it'll get you, definitely more influence and more followers, because that was really helpful. And I have to remind myself to do it because I don't do it enough, and I know I don't. And it's like, and I don't even take the time to do something I know is so important. Like right now, I'm like down on myself for it,
Oh, it's all good, girl. We got baby steps,
Yeah. So again, Samantha Skelly, you want to go find her on her socials. If you're thinking about, you want to start helping people transform their lives, go look her up. And if you want to feel better, I already feel better just doing that 3-minute thing. Like I have more energy and my body feels better. And it's an emotional makeover for sure.
I love that. I love that. You marketing genius.
That'll be your new name for your next book. I'll be like,
the emotional
makeover for your emotions. It's so good. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Samantha, everyone. I hope that you are just as fired up as I am. Now, here's the deal. If you didn't do that, go back and do it, right? Teach it to somebody. I always think the best way to learn something is to teach it to somebody else. Tell them about Samantha. And do you have a podcast too, Samantha? You do.
I do. It's called
What's your podcast called?
Can't Be Contained.
Can't Be Contained. Go there.
We gotta get you on our podcast. Come on to San Diego.
That sounds great. Go there, watch her, give her a 5-star review that she's doing all this, and spread the word. And remember, transformation does not happen from the information. Transformation happens from the implementation of the information. So hope you were just as fired up as I am. And now I feel like I'm just ready to go rock and roll for the day. And Samantha, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for having me. This has been amazing.
You guys all have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. If you found this valuable, do me a favor and sign up for my 3-day Unstoppable Agent virtual course. We talk about everything digital, as well as how you can stand as the go-to authority in real estate. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.